What's up, guys? Today is not a good day at all. Mr. B was in a really bad car wreck last night. He was driving on the interstate coming back from work when a bus didn't see him and flipped him several times. He landed in oncoming traffic. He is going to be okay for the most part. He was rushed into KU Med up here in Kansas City. He had to be rushed in for surgery this morning on his knee. He broke his kneecap. They had to go in and clean out the kneecap, and they also had to cut out some of the damaged tissues that were in there. But he is awake now. He is coherent. He is in a lot of pain. So I'm going to be stuck in the hospital for the next few days until he gets released. And this has set our move back tremendously because I'm not leaving without him. And I'm definitely not going to leave with him in the hospital. So just want to give everybody an update on what was going on. I will be back in a second, and I will bring him on and let you guys see him, see how everything's going. But right now, we need as much prayers and blessings that we can get from everybody. We need all the support we can get. How you doing, honey? Not good at all, huh? Yeah, that knee is the knee that he had to have surgery on. He is in a major, huge leg cast that goes all the way up. Apparently, he was cleared to get the neck brace off last night at the emergency room, but they didn't put it in the paperwork, so he's been stuck with that on all day. You want to say anything to the kiddos? He's not feeling good at all. But we love him. We're going to be here to make sure that he gets better. On a pain scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain?
10 right now. My knee is killing me. Horrible.
How's that? You look pretty darn good for being in such a bad car wreck, though. From the waist up, I should say. And waist down, not so good. But yeah. On this leg, if you notice, I'm not going to touch it. He's got that, goes all the way up his whole entire leg. And then on this leg, he's got some pretty good gashes on it. But it could be a lot worse. For how bad that wreck was last night and how many times he flipped, he is extremely lucky to be alive. Extremely lucky. You want to tell the kiddos you love them?
Love you guys.
They love you too. Well, we are going to let him sleep. I'm going to send this off. And we will give you guys an update tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel of Super Kai. I know you guys can probably tell by my enthusiasm levels right now that I'm not all super today. It's taken me a few hours to actually compose myself to even make this video because the last 24 hours have just been complete hell. And I'm going to take these off because I know I'm going to tear up with this. So, something extremely tragic happened in our family. Extremely tragic. And it has sent everything that we have been planning and everything that we have been working on just in a complete tailspin right now. Mr. B, you know, my fiance Brian, he was in a horrible car crash Thursday night on his way home from work from Kansas City. It's usually only a 20-minute drive down that highway on I-70. It doesn't take long at all. But anyways, what happened was he was on his way home. He was on his way to drop his load off because he does a carrying job on part-time as for the USA Today. And he went to go pick up the papers. He was on his way back to town with the papers. He didn't make it back to town. What really happened was he was driving down the highway and he went to go past a Greyhound bus. The Greyhound bus didn't see him. They came right over on him, which made him hit him because there was no room between them. When the Greyhound bus came over, he was already there, which made him lose control. And he flipped. And he flipped a lot. He flipped over the guardrail, over the center median guardrail, and ended up in oncoming traffic. Luckily, so luckily, a off-duty EMT was the first one on the scene. He saw it all and was right there to help him. They got him out of the car, and they rushed him to KU Med up in Kansas City. There's 6 people on that Greyhound bus that were injured as well, and they were sent to a different hospital in Lawrence, Kansas, which was only 10 miles away. KU Med was a good 35 minutes away, but it is like the best of the hospitals in the region. The car crash happened around 12. A little bit before 12:30 that night. I was texting him. We were sending him text messages. And on my phone I have it set up so when I know when it actually delivers. And it delivers when his phone's on. At 12:15 I sent him a funny one that it was a Cornholio one. Beavis and Butthead. I knew it was going to make him laugh. It didn't go through. I sent him another one around 1 o'clock. It didn't go through either. I started getting worried. Started getting really worried. Started calling him. Straight to voicemail. He never does that. He always lets me know when he comes back. He always lets me know what all is going on. I mean, when we're not together, we're talking a lot. I know pretty much everything that man is doing, just like he knows everything I do. We've been together for 7.5 years. It's what we do. It's the love of my life. I finally fell asleep around 6:30 in the morning, worrying like crazy. I called the jail. I called the Lawrence Memorial Hospital here in town. I called everyone trying to find out where the hell he was. 1 p.m. I wake up and I do my morning ritual. I sit there and I drink a Red Bull and I read the news on my phone. I find that article. I'm reading the article. It's talking about how there's a car crash. And then it says 30-year-old Brian. I'm not going to say his last name. I'm just going to leave it at that. This is 13 hours after the car wreck. 13 hours. I find out that the love of my life, the man I have been with for 7.5 years, was in a horrible, horrible car accident by a news report on my phone. I started calling his family immediately when I found out where he was at. I called the hospital first. I found out that he was getting ready to be put into surgery. They wouldn't tell me for what. They wouldn't tell me how bad he was hurt. They wouldn't tell me anything. All they would tell me is that he was going in for surgery. This is 13 hours after that car accident happened. I rushed up there. I mean, I was still in my pajamas. I just threw on the first pair of shorts I could find, threw on my bra, brushed my teeth, threw on some deodorant, and I was out that freaking door, and I was throwing my hair up in a ponytail as I was running out that door. I had 2 panic attacks. The whole entire way from me to be driving on those highways, I was literally shaking. My whole entire body was shaking. I could not even control the shake in my hands as I'm holding that wheel. And I flew weaving in and out of cars to get to that hospital. When I get to the hospital, sure enough, his dad is there. And somebody else that we don't even want to have anything to do with was there. First words out of my mouth was, "Why didn't you call me? Why did you not call me?" And they said, "Well, he didn't tell us to call you." I call bullcrap on that one. He comes out of surgery a short time later. And I rushed right to his side. And I told his dad, and I told everybody else that was there, I was like, this is my man. I am not leaving his side. This is the love of my life. There is no way in hell that I am leaving his side while he is here in the hospital. Now remember, I'm set to move Tuesday. This was, by this point, Friday. The doctors asked me who I was. I told them straight out, I'm his fiance. Ring on my finger. They brought me into the elevator with him. I'm standing there by his head. I'm rubbing his hair like I normally do. When he's not feeling well or he's grouchy, I just start playing with his hair. It relaxes him. And he started moaning a little bit. When we got into the room, they finally left. And I got to really start to see how bad the injuries were. Luckily, from the waist up, he looks really good. I mean, there's a few scratches, there's some bumps and bruises, and there was some blood on his hands, and, you know, some cuts and scrapes. But overall, he looked really good. Until I saw his legs. in his right leg, he had a hole that big around when they came in. That big around in the side of his knee. That's what they went to go operate on, was his knee. When they operated on his knee, luckily he got really lucky. He only had a small fracture in the kneecap, but they had to go out and clean out the whole entire inside because the hole was so deep it went all the way down to the bone. It cracked the kneecap and went into the joint bones. That's how deep it was. This is a picture of him at that point. They had him in a cast from his toes all the way to the upper part of his thigh. And they had a compression pack around it so that it could not move. When he started coming to, he asked me where I had been, and I told him I had just found out through the news. Apparently he had been asking for me the whole entire time. The whole entire time, those 13 hours, my man was laying there with a hole in his knee that big around, asking for me, begging the family to call me. And not a single one of them did. I didn't leave my man's side after that. I stayed right there in that hospital room with him. I held his hand when he needed to hold his hand. I let him squeeze the hell out of it when the pain was too much. I made sure that he had water when he needed it, to use the bathroom when he needed to, cleaned him up. I did all of it. Why? Because that's what you do for somebody when you really love them. You will go through hell to be with that person. And this is not the first time that we've had something bad like this happen. This is the first time that he ever had to spend the night in the hospital room like that since we've been together. This is the first time that I didn't know if I was going to see him again or not. This is the first time that I was so completely scared and terrified of losing him than I have ever been before. Those were the worst 13 hours of my life. At night in the hospital, the nurse actually turned off the bed alarm. Because all he wanted was to have me in his arms, and all I wanted to do was be in his arms. That's where I slept at that whole entire night, with my head on his chest with his arm wrapped around me. Every time that he jumped a little bit, I was wide awake, jumping to whatever he needed. And I will do that for the rest of my life because I love him so much. And I know you're probably asking, where is he now? Well, he was released from the hospital. He will be fine. The worst damage to him, luckily, was just that knee. Thank God for how many times he flipped that car. That was the only thing that was really wrong with him, was that knee. I am so thankful. So thankful. But as of now, he is at his parents' house. As much as I hate it, and I know as much as he is hating it, he is there right now because, well, we still have to move. At this point in time, we already have the U-Haul truck. As you saw, that U-Haul truck is already being packed up. Or maybe I didn't upload that video yet. But yeah, we have the moving truck, and it's already been. That's what we spent our day doing Thursday before he went to go do this job real quick. Was we were packing up that U-Haul truck together. And I was still packing it up and loading it up when he went to work. I still have to leave Tuesday. The drive home from the hospital with them today made me realize and see firsthand that there is absolutely no way in hell that he would be able to last 20 hours in a car. There's just no way that he would be able to do it. And plus he's got some major doctor's appointments coming up that he cannot miss. So, unfortunately, I am here to say, and this part kills me so much, is I have to go without him. I have to go and get our house all prepared and get everything done by my own. I'm not going to have my partner here. And while he's going through all this hell and all this pain, I won't be there. And that really kills me. I am so mad about the way everything went down, the way I was treated, the way I was continued to be treated. It became screaming fest at me. I mean, down to even trying to get him out of the car. His parents were screaming at me. They keep screaming that they apologized for not calling me. I never once got an apology. Never once got an apology. I got a, well, he didn't tell us to call you. At the same time of his mom coming in and being like, well, Brian, when you were in the emergency room, and this is who all I called. I called so-and-so, and 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 so-and-so. But they didn't call the one person that he was asking him to. That is horrible. But I'm glad that I found out one way or another. And I am glad that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. It very well could have been and should have been. That would be burying him instead. And that is the most terrifying feeling in the world. I mean, that is the worst feeling. I've already dealt with that before. I don't ever want to deal with that again. Damn it, I want to be the one to go into the relationship first. I don't want to feel that pain again. And I sure as hell don't want to live my life without him. So, I don't know when you guys are going to see him again in the vlogs. I will try to keep you guys as posted as I can. we're gonna try to get him down to Florida as soon as we possibly can too. But this definitely screwed up a lot of things. And right now, that's going through my mind is how much I care about him and how much I'm worried about him, because I am worried sick about him because I'm not there with him. And it kills me. God, it kills me. So yeah, I'm kind of an emotional mess right now. He spent over 24 hours in that hospital. And watching him in that much pain, I never want to see again. I've never seen him shake so bad out of just pure pain. It was horrible. But I wanted to give you guys an update on what happened and why you guys aren't going to be seeing him for a while. God. I'm not ready to be without him. I'm sorry guys, but I am not ready to be halfway across the country away from him. My excitement and my move has dwindled. I mean, a part of me is excited because I know it's our home. I know that he's going to be there. I know that it's going to take time. I know that this is just temporary and it's going to take time and he is going to be there. It's just really hard right now. So I'm sorry for crying on YouTube. I'm sorry for you guys seeing me like this, but this is one of the scariest times of my life right now. And I know some of you guys have heard about it already. And I just wanted to give you the whole story, besides the few bits and pieces that I am not wanting to let out, because it was just so horrible the way I was treated that I don't even want to get into that, because I am still just in disbelief that people can act that way. It's quite sickening. So yeah, this has been a hell of a past 24 hours. Well, I should say 48 hours now. It has been absolute hell. But I have 2 days to get everything on that track and to be out of here. And I have to go without him. God, I hate that. Well, I hope tomorrow is a better one. I don't like these sad ones. But this was a major traumatic experience that happened in my life. So that's what I do, is I show you how my day goes. I show you what my life is like. And the good, the bad, the ugly. This happens to be some of the bad and the ugly. But thank you guys for all the prayers. And thank you guys for all the support. It means the world to me that you guys care. And I have gotten so much love from all of you guys throughout this whole entire thing. And he knows how much it's meant a lot to him too. It's really meant a lot to him too. We love you guys. We love you to death. We will see you guys soon. Well, I guess I will see you soon with the kids. I will try my hardest to get him in at least once or twice more before we leave. But I don't know how that's going to go, since he's there and all that drama. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen in the next 2 days. I don't know what's gonna happen in the next month, but we're gonna live it day by day and take it hour by hour, that get through it. But seriously, thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.